Celebrate Lunar New Year parties with help from Whole Foods Market. Find yellow sale signs on Asian-inspired ingredients like whole fish, stir-fry ready shrimp, and organic ground pork that's great in dumplings. Explore fresh veggies like nafu cabbage, bok choy, and komatsu na. And check out the floral department for money trees, orchids, and more. Perfect for gifting. Find good fortune and flavors through the 24th at Whole Foods Market.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Christian Moore back to Jack Goodchild on the blue line. He manages to get it wide to Jacob Minter. Goodchild with the shot, and the Slough Jets are taking the lead on the power play with 23 seconds remaining. And Jack Goodchild is Kane Russell with the shot cross goal. No need for the save from Lorne. And Campbell has found himself on. And it's 3-1 to the Johnson Chieftains. They have him back quickly. Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK Ice Hockey Podcast, hosted by me, Ben Hyde.
And me, Katelin Piner.
How you doing, Katelin?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very, very good. This is episode 204. Wow, we're flying along now.
We are, yeah. I think when we spoke about 200 when we were on like 190, we didn't actually realise how quick it was coming up.
Yeah.
It's come round a lot quicker, that 200 mark. So the fact we're 204 is crazy.
Yeah, I think we were actually kind of planning the 200 to fall on, you know, like next week, because on Sunday we've got the Essex Podcast Festival where we're going to be doing a live episode. And I kind of thought, oh, yeah, that would fall on episode 200. But then, as you say, it came around so quickly.
So quick, yeah.
And we managed to get Scott White organised really quickly as well. And
that was just insane.
And get that for episode 200. So, it's been, honestly, since you've joined, it's just flown. It's just
I think
been good
this
fun.
is my 22nd episode.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
Crazy.
Absolutely
Very
mad.
wild.
So, and we've had a busy evening already today because we've recorded with Nick Rothwell that will be coming out a little bit later this week. Just astonishing, isn't he?
He's just a brilliant guy. Like, honestly, just one of the loveliest guys I've probably ever met as well.
Mm. Yeah, his work with Retribe in the hockey community in this country, and extending now out to Germany with Liam Kirk as an ambassador. Just announcing recently as well, Logan Nielsen. Some more announcements to come out when that episode comes out on Friday. They will also be announcing the first GB women's player to be a part of it as well, which is terrific for Nick and everyone involved at Retribe. So looking at what's been happening over the past week or so in our hockey, we had a pretty busy weekend of fixtures.
Yeah. Some
possibly sort of surprise-ish results, maybe.
Yeah, some surprising, some sort of, like I expected it, but some a bit more rough than I thought they would be.
Yeah, and you had a weekend of NIHL 2 hockey. I
did indeed. I was sort of back home with Oxford Rising Stars, so it was planned always to go to Solent, be back with my little family at Oxford, and then I thought, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to go back proper home and go to Oxford Ice Rink, and I saw two pretty good matches, 2 Oxford wins, so bit different from Oxford last year. So no, but it was a really nice weekend. It was just, it's not the hockey that I miss in Oxford, it's the people I was always with, I saw all the time, that's my family. So it was just nice to be back with them. Yeah,
and you had a roast dinner in the Sailmaker.
It was
and then you presented the Player of the Match awards to a friend of yours, Kayla Paul.
I did indeed. Soon as I had a talk with Reuben Diffie, a director at Oxford Rising, the sort of DJ as well as like family friend, Ian Dibley, came over to me and was like, look, do you want to host Man of the Match? I was like, yeah, let's go for it. And sorry, it couldn't have been really anyone else. And I told Kaya that I was like, it was going to be you.
Did you pick that? Did you get to pick it?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, the Warrior player was already picked, but who they did pick was who I was going to pick. And then it was sort of a thing in the pod, like at Oxford Ice Rink, like that sort of section. We call it the pod. It was in the pod. It was a debate. Who should it be? And I just came in and was like, I think it should be Kayla. And they were like, yeah, let's go with Kayla then.
Was Chris Beckett playing for Oxford that night?
Yes, he
So
was.
did we have Chris versus George on the ice?
We did, yeah,
oh,
we did.
Amazing. Love it.
Yeah, no, it was it was a good game. I was actually shocked there wasn't a fight because in the end of the second period it kicked off a bit, which I'm not complaining at. I love a good old fight, but we didn't get a fight. But no, it was a good game.
So often we hear about brothers playing for the same teams in this country, but
yes,
to hear of them playing against each other, I love that, especially two Chelmsford boys as well. I love that, love it. But I must admit, I was at Chelmsford on the Sunday night for the Streatham game and see him skating out, and then it was Jeff Wall who sits in front of me. Was like, Warriors are playing in Oxford tonight. And I was like, oh yes, there's no Eden, there's no George. We're missing a couple of these, these guys that fill the roster up and do that, that dump and change for us when you need it. But there was a tough night for them in Oxford. It was a high scoring game there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Like the second period sort of just flew for Rising Stars, and then in the third, Warriors came back a bit, but it ended 9-4. But for me, it was a pretty high scoring weekend. I mean, the game in Solent was really good. I think Rising Stars went 3-1 up, got back to 3-3. And then all of a sudden, Rising just went, and I think it ended 7-4, pretty sure. My memory's so bad. I mean, it's only Wednesday, I think. Yeah, only Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Don't even remember the day, and I just can't remember what's happened at the weekend.
Oh, madness. But now, I mean, obviously a big weekend for the Solent teams. Then obviously having Oxford down there, it was a fairly half-decent crowd from what you said. And then on Sunday night, they sold out their 90s themed evening, which was the sight of Alex Murray in a shell suit tracksuit is not one that's going to leave me soon. It will stay with me for a while. So, from the games then, there's a little bit of news, but a lot of the news that's come out this week is kind of what's happened in the games, I think, more than kind of anything getting announced that way. So, we'll start on the Saturday at Romford. Now, we've been bigging Cardiff up for quite a while, just because we're desperate for them to at least get a point on the board because of everything that came out in the episode. I think it was Fire Hit the Fan. The episode was called. I think it was 198 maybe. And these are the games where you can look at getting them. Now this on paper looks like a very, very tight game. Yes. I don't know what you've seen. Hopefully Romford will put the highlights up soon. There's some real dispute about a couple of the goals in this game. Real dispute, and we've heard from players about it. And people who were there as well. So fans, players, particularly Ellis Shepherd is fuming.
Which, rightfully so, when you're in this position as, a player coach, you want the best for your team. And when they're sort of desperate for points, and this is, a game that they could get some, no wonder he's fuming. Yeah.
It all kind of goes around what could well have been, I think it could well have been an equalising goal for Cardiff at the time. So the player's gone on, the shot has come in, and the puck has not gone in the goal. But the referees have put their hands up to say, that's a goal. Unless the puck's rebounded, they have put it in the goal. And then it seems that the officials have all spoken together and decided to not give a goal at all.
At all.
Even though the second goal was perfectly legitimate.
Yeah.
I think that only happens to you when you're in Cardiff's position.
Yeah, it would. You couldn't really put it on paper to anyone else, could you? You couldn't write it.
No. It was very strange. Right? And to be fair, I was expecting. That's a very full Romford side as well.
Yeah.
That played. They had Harvey Briggs playing down as well. So Cardiff have travelled a little bit light, so to keep it as tight as it was, I think was particularly good. A goal in the first period from Craig Thurston to put Cardiff in the lead, which was when we all saw that we were like, go on,
mate.
An equaliser from Artem Kazaks, which I'm told was an absolute screamer.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to see if Romford put some highlights about that. A first senior goal from Max Vinnikov, who I have been told all year, keep your eye on this kid, because this kid is good. Which he proved later this weekend as well.
Yeah.
An equaliser from Bailey Hine pitcher. Then, of course, we had a few issues with his goal. I'm also told there's a few issues with the Juraj Huška goal as to whether it actually went in
or not
at all. So, yeah, guys at Romford, you do a fantastic job with your live stream. Get some highlights out there for us so that we can all have
proper look at it.
we can all proper have a look at it, because you do a fantastic job with all the live stream, the live cameras you've got goal line cameras and stuff, to get that out there for us all to see. But the drama was not done then. Oh, hell no, it wasn't.
No.
59-59, Cardiff got a penalty shot.
I don't
my
think I've
fucking,
ever
this is
seen
like
that.
Mighty Duck shit. 59-59 penalty shot.
That.
I think I've seen it once before, but it was not like this. Like it was, the game was already gone. Yeah. This is a penalty shot.
This
to
means
literally
absolutely
win
everything.
your team a point for the first time in months.
Yeah.
And this is why I have to stand by what I said when I shared the video of it. It was missed. I will always give the goalkeeper the credit for saving a penalty shot. Always. And I spoke to Max personally about this as well. If it's 59-59 and you've got a penalty shot to take the tie to overtime and win a point and then potentially get a second, you've missed it. He's not saved it, you've missed it. Because that's your opportunity. I just can't imagine.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's heartbreaking. I can't imagine the bit. I couldn't actually see who it was that took it. So I don't have it written down either.
I want to say it was Craig Thurston.
But it was, heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. And I think as well that brings you down, like the pressure.
Mm.
You know, pressure gets the best of people at times, and you know you've got literally a second to go, and you've been given like no better opportunity you could be given than this. The pressure's going to get to you.
Mm. Former Oxford player in the pipes for Cardiff that night as well, Morgan Parsons.
Yeah, Morgan Parsons. Yeah. I think he's been doing pretty well in at Bristol too as well. I'm pretty sure he's still at Bristol too.
I think it was kind of a loan situation.
Alone, yeah, which I think has happened for Cardiff quite a lot. But no, he's been doing really well.
Mm. Yeah, which is good to sort of build him back up, because I think last year was a little bit early for him for NIHL.
Yeah, NIHL 1, yeah. And that's completely fine. He just needed to go back down to NIHL 2 and work his way up again, and he's doing really well.
Mm. But yeah, I've got to say, with the team that Cardiff went to Romford with, you know, not full four rolling lines, whereas Romford were completely stacked. With that, 3-2 is still a fairly good result.
Good result. It's just a shame they couldn't just get that point.
No, and like I say, that's like Mighty Duck shit. A penalty shot, 59-59. We love that drama. We do love that
It's like
drama.
a movie.
Yeah.
They need to put the highlights out.
Yeah, get them highlights out, because we all want to see that. Even if you trim it down to like 5-6 minutes and it's just the goals and the moments. But yeah, we want to see that, because everyone deserves to be able to see that. And it's nothing bad. Like I say, if it was on Craig Thurston that missed the penalty shot, it's nothing bad on him at all, because a penalty shot is still really fucking hard.
They're hard to score. Scoring on hockey is hard to score.
Yeah.
You've got this little net and this big goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And it's not just any goalkeeper. This is Max Van Mullen.
As well, yeah.
You know, youth international goalkeeper. It's an incredibly good young netminder. So he did do a very good job of stopping the penalty shot. But yeah, I will stand by my comments that in the situation, it was missed, not saved. You know where the DMs are if you disagree with me, which a few people have already. So I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. The Valentine's Day game at Slough.
Yeah.
I know Connor Dudley was backing up Matt Smittle that night, was not impressed with the pink jersey in the slightest. Wonderful picture taken by his dad, Nick, of him not being too impressed with the pink jersey.
I absolutely love them.
I thought it was great. It was a really, really good jersey. I just want a pink jersey. I'm not saying I want a flower one. I want a pink jersey. Maybe Oxford's away next year should be pink.
Yeah, maybe I just get in there. You know, I'm wrapping pink today, so I might get in there and say, right, pink jerseys.
Well, being Valentine's Day, there was no love lost at all between these two sides. They've been literally going hammer and tong for the last 2 or 3 years at each other. Yes, they have, and it's been great to watch. It has. It's been for the neutral, for the fans of each. It's been absolutely fantastic to see. I know that. I think you've been down to a Slough Streatham game. I've been to a Slough Streatham game. They are the game to go and see. If you want to take someone who's never seen hockey before, take him to Slough versus Streatham.
No matter what rink it's in, go.
Because it really is, it's just a no-holds-barred, absolute slogfest of hockey.
Yeah, just brilliant.
And this was absolutely no different. I mean, Danny Inglesby Ethan Lane puts the Slough, I've gone completely off the rails. Ethan Lane scores for the Streatham Redhawks early on. Ollie Hemmings-Marr, what a season that kid is having. Unbelievable.
He is getting better and better and better, and I don't think there's going to be no stopping him.
No, absolutely astonishing. Very young goal scorer, first goal of the season for Alex Rosen, who's been part of the Spitfires, hasn't he, for most of the season?
He has, yeah, like what a moment. And I think in a game like this, like Slough Streatham, this is so important, this game. And to score your first goal, I think that probably would have meant a lot to him. But the fact, like, the game it was in probably made it mean a whole lot more. Yeah,
and I think it really does show the trust that Smits has got in his setup there.
Yeah.
That these young lads can come in and play at this level.
That's always we go back to the pathway, and if you get the pathway perfect, you can bring youth in, and then that youth will be good enough for senior level hockey.
Because I don't know, I've not seen the Spitfires yet this season. Do they play? I bet they play the same way, don't they? I bet they play exactly the same style.
Pretty much, it's very fast hockey. Especially, well, I think for NHL too, they've got some legs on them. It's like non-stop. But yeah, you sort of can see that it is like the pathway, and that's the aim, to get to the highest point in that team. So it makes sense to play the sort of same way.
Yeah. Ben Painter with the equaliser, just over 6 minutes into the third period. Ben Painter's been amongst the goals recently, actually. He got a hat-trick down at Solent last week. So yeah, seeing Painter amongst the goals. Now, when this ticked over into overtime, I could not help myself but comment on the Chieftains' live scores, because we'll get to their game in a minute in Invicta, to say that is exactly what we needed, because they've now both dropped a point.
Yes.
At least one. So that was exactly what Chieftains needed in the top three race. Could have probably done with Streatham nicking it on the overtime for the whole points and the way it's got up, but that's not the way it went. And Ollie Hemmings-Marr popped up again.
Again, yeah.
26 goals already this season. It's just amazing.
It is. Honestly, he's incredible. And I've said this, he'll be a national, I think, next year, if not the year after. And we've said about Slough potentially going up, so we'll see what happens there. But he could play in it easily.
Yeah, it was. To be fair, he was pulling trees up last year. I think he was getting a little bit of two-way time with Bracknell.
Yes.
So he was getting a little bit of time up there, and he was playing quite well in the NHL 1. But the Steel City Showdown, the final against the Streatham Redhawks on the very, very late Saturday night, that Slough won by 6-0. He absolutely ran the show from start to finish.
Pulled them apart, yeah.
And took a very well-deserved Man of the Match award that night, to my memory. So I was on the ice with the Jets that night. My memory might not be as clear as I want it to be, as we discussed. That by that point I might have had a beer or two, but we was yeah.
And moonwalking.
Yeah, there was definitely some moonwalking going on as well. But 21 shots from the Streatham Redhawks, 46 from the Slough Jets. That shows the kind of pressure they were putting Streatham under.
Yeah, and I think that just shows Streatham, like, how good they are everywhere. Like, defensively, they are still good. Like, they can pop loads of goals in, but they can also defend really well. Obviously, they took a point, which is better than nothing, especially in this really tight title race. But for Slough, having 46 shots, like, with these two teams, they're normally, like, shots on goal are very level. It's crazy to see it's, like, over
2-1, isn't it?
Over 2-1, yeah.
Yeah, and the first goal for Streatham was on the power play, and you kind of get the sense, looking down the stats and how the game went, that was right. Now that we're not going to let them score on the power play again after that, because they had a couple of other chances. Slough had a few chances actually on the power play and didn't manage to sort of score any, and that's one of their stronger areas. Although last year shorthanded was actually one of their strongest areas, which was
strongest area shorthanded.
But really fantastic stuff to see for the teams at the top of the league, and even the teams down into like the middle sections. These games are really fierce and they're really competitive and they're really good to watch. Which, seeing so many sellouts even if it's because of outside factors like the heated rivalry or the fact that maybe the Olympics is on and people are getting a little bit more interest in hockey. I don't care what it is that gets them in there, but games like this is going to keep them in there.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, it's first off is getting them in there. Second off is then keeping them, because if you go to a bad game, it's like, I don't want to pay for that. So games like fixtures between these two teams are just always great to go to.
Absolutely. So the last game of the Saturday night then was down in Gillingham. And
Lovely.
I mean, Invicta's form of recent times has been nothing short of spectacular.
I mean, this whole season, really, like, league form has been immaculate.
Yeah, it's been really, really good. They've really, and even in the games that they've been defeated, they've really given...
They've tried. They've made it hard, yeah.
Yeah, they've really given people a hard game. And that kind of seemed to go out the window on Saturday.
Just this game, yeah.
Yeah, and, speaking to a few Chieftains fans Sunday night, they were quite disappointed, actually, with how Invicta played, because they were looking forward to seeing this Invicta that we've been waxing lyrical about for, the last few weeks. Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird thing. They're still short bench. They weren't as short bench as they have been. It's one of them things. Maybe they're better short benched. I don't know.
Yeah, or potentially now just, 3 or 4 weeks of playing with 9, 10 skaters has just got the legs.
Yeah, it has. That's tough. And we've said they beat a Streatham side with 9 skaters. Like, that's crazy. So, weeks and weeks doing that, it gets tiring.
Yeah, I can imagine it does get very, very tiring. And getting around, trying to chase around a team like the Chieftains as well, who are also in quite good form.
Yeah.
Probably had a good bit to do with it. Tom Saw got the opening goal against his former club.
Yeah.
Which, they wouldn't have enjoyed too much seeing that. And then,
I feel like you're seeing that a lot this season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, players getting goals against their former clubs. It's quite, I don't know, I get quite excited about it. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, but I'm always keen to see the celebration of it. Do you celebrate? Do you
celebrate? Do you propagate it?
Yeah, like when we moved to Sunday's games, and also I was at Chelmsford versus Streatham, there's a bit of that going on because there was a couple of ex-Chelmsford players in that Streatham squad that made themselves known on the Sunday night. But on the Saturday, Ewan Morrison on fire again. This looks like the real deal for a late in the season signing.
That's who you need.
It looks like a really good one.
Really good one. He's slotting right in, and you couldn't really ask any better for an import.
No, and to be fair, I was looking forward because I went to the Swindon game last week. I was looking forward to see where he slotted in because it would be like, well, does he go where Lackey was in line 3, or does he perhaps go into line 2 and go with Barnes Garner and Baldock and Morrison? But he kind of floats between the lines, and he gets on the power play, he gets on the penalty kill. He's just an incredibly talented player.
Yeah, and when I do see him perform, I can't really wait because that's what Chelmsford have been missing, that import, and we said that. So to have him in there is great for them. Yeah,
he got his 4th and 5th goals of the season to put Chelmsford 3 up. Ollie Baldock, the Chieftains captain, made it 4 with his 5th goal of the season. To be fair, I saw him play Sunday. He was terrific. I've also told he was very, very good on Saturday night as well. So good to see him in form. Grant Bartlett with his 25th of the season. And, I think it's him, Cam and Ollie Hemmings-Marr just running away with it at the top of that score.
They are, yeah.
Sam Oliver got one back for Invicta. Sasha Maltsev with his 17th goal of the season. Again, another player that's had a cracking year. Mad Stone pulled another one back before Grant Bartlett added his 26th, and Ollie Baldock finished it off for 8-2. And what that kind of done was, Streatham against Chelmsford is always a massive, massive game. I think it always has been, it always will be. But that really did set it up. Them having that win and Streatham getting the overtime defeat in Slough. So then we move to the Solent Devils, who don't face off quite as early on a Sunday, I don't think. I think it's about 5:30 maybe.
5:30, not that late.
Not that late, but still, not quite 5 o'clock.
I'll tell you what, it was nice going home, like getting home at 10 o'clock on Saturday. I was like, I've got a whole night ahead of me.
As though we're going into the rink and it's still a little bit light outside.
I'll never forget, Stars played them at the very, very end of the season, and we came out of the rink and the sun was setting. That's how early it was.
Oh wow, love it.
Yeah,
love it. Well, as we said earlier, they sold out, which is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Love hearing about
theme night as well.
Yeah, 90s theme night. I don't think any other club in the league does their theme nights as well as Solent.
No, They don't. And, you know, I think the 90s one is a new one, isn't it?
It is a new one, yeah. I tell you what I really love about their theme nights is that they go for it, you know, the country theme and the 90s, but they don't always do a jersey, and I love that because...
Yeah. You don't have to do a jersey.
You don't have to. And they know that that's a real expense for the fans because then the fans will want the jersey, but if you're doing 5-6 jerseys a season, it's too many.
It's not feasible, yeah.
But the theme nights really allow the fans to get involved with something that doesn't have to cost them X amount of money to get a new jersey.
Exactly, and I think that's what it's given back. It's given back to the people that do pay.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to see.
Yeah, yeah. But as I said, Alex Murray rolling up in a shell suit looks like he would give it to you and then take it straight back.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very Goldie-looking chain look about my mate Muzzer on Sunday night. And as you said, they've not been in very good form. They've been hampered by injuries as well. And have they...
Yeah, I mean, their roster on Sunday night had 12 skaters missing.
And they've been using the Solent Junior Devils as well.
Yeah, they have.
And I don't think they've really recovered from that period that they couldn't use the rink.
That's what it sort of feels like. You know, they hit that spot, and I feel like they just, if they got into form, it would be for a game, and that's it. They haven't regained the form that they had at the start of the year, which is sad to see. But I mean, it shocked both of us when we actually spoke about this off air. They're second bottom.
Yeah. It's
which
very
really shocked
odd to see them that low in the table.
That low, yeah. You normally see them at like 6th, maybe lowest, but you know, normally they're 5th, 4th, like in that area, but they're 7th.
Yeah, and Slough took a fairly rapid lead.
Yeah.
Just under 3 minutes. Connor Redmond getting his 6th goal of the season. And the funny thing about that is that's only the second game he scored in.
I know we don't like to... I know we support Cardiff, but I do like that comment someone made of, if Connor Redmond's scoring 5 goals against you, something's going wrong.
I think it was Watty, actually, that made that comment. Yeah, double from Lewis English as well in the first period, giving them a pretty commanding 3-0 lead. And this would be then, particularly in a rink like Solent, this is when the next goal is about momentum switching. And Solent got that next goal through Josh Martin, but they just didn't really build on it from then.
Build on it. Yeah.
And they found themselves in a little bit of penalty trouble.
If you score after that Josh Martin goal, different game. You know, you're 3-2 then, but Seb Moore gets Slough's 4th, and I think that's game over pretty much. Yeah,
there was chances there in that, you know, in the end of that period, because Slough got themselves into penalty trouble, particularly Carl Bradburn taking quite a long seat, 9 minutes in total. But yeah, and ended up with a 4th from Seb Moore before the end of the second, and then that 5th from Luke Smittle right at the sort of halfway between the end of the third period. And just fairly dominant. And we said last week or a couple of weeks ago actually, about Streatham getting locked in, and since then they've not won. So
sorry, guys.
Sorry about that. That's our bad. But the Slough Jets kind of look like that now.
Yeah, we won't say it though, because if we say it and then they go out of form, we're going to get the blame. But no, they are. You can sort of see it's coming to near the end of the season. Everyone wants these points because these points are insanely important now.
Yeah.
And how tight it is crazy. So every point matters.
And the thing with that Slough Streatham game on the Saturday night as well, it was not an actual dress rehearsal, because I don't think Slough will be wearing pink next week. But that cup final, you're not going to want to show your hand too early of how you're thinking of playing the cup final. A 2-legged game between these sides is literally anything can happen.
Anything.
And the last time these two met in the cup final, I think it was 1-1 from the first leg, and then it was 1-0 in the second leg, and it was a very, very late goal.
Mm.
Or was it? I'll tell you what, actually, it might have been 1-0 to Slough, and then it was 1.
And then it was 1-1.
And then there was an empty net. But it was a bloody tight game. and from people that have, been watching hockey longer than I have, and if Katelin, you're obviously only 18, probably watching longer than you have, said it was one of the greatest games they'd ever seen, which is very high praise indeed. So this weekend between those two will be sensational.
Yeah. I'm so gutted we cannot make it to either of them. Because normally I'd be all over that. I mean, to be fair, I could possibly make it on the Saturday, potentially.
You're only in Wickham, aren't you? Wickham to Slough.
Yeah, and it's a 12:30 kickoff in Wickham. So,
well.
I could make it.
Well, you won't make it Sunday because it's sold out.
And we are together Sunday.
We are together Sunday doing the Essex Podcast Festival.
Yes, but we won't get into that yet.
No. But yeah, as far as we know then, say for next weekend, we've got one more game to do, but looking at these two sides, Slough, Streatham, Cup final, Saturday night in Slough, Sunday night in Streatham. As far as we have been made aware, Sunday night in Streatham is completely sold out.
Sold out, yes. Few people have said else, but that's opinions and probably just fake rumours. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, we had a few opinions in the Slough end that maybe they think it's not perhaps sold out and they just don't want many Slough fans in the building. But from what I understand of everybody in Streatham, is very straight out.
I can probably guarantee it is sold out because that is a fixture that would be sold out.
Yeah, and Streatham's recent exposure with with BBC London and all the stuff they've done with Heated Rivalry and of course all the brilliant social media stuff that Zara does has just got people going week in, week out to Streatham, and it is sold out virtually every week, which is
every week. So I'd probably guarantee it will be. Yeah. And as well, they're a London team. You know, I expect that to be sold out.
Yeah, and football's boring, so people are jumping ship.
Well, I mean, in South London right now, it's not the best. Yeah, right. I will admit.
So then it takes us to the penultimate game of the weekend, the Riverside, where I was. Which, obviously, Chieftains winning the night before then kind of put this little thing on it of, you know what, if we win tonight, we're really up there. And you could argue to say if we win tonight, it's actually in our hands.
Yeah. But is that a good thing? Because when the cup was in your hands, it didn't...
In a lot of sports, chasing is definitely easier than
having it there for you.
Yeah. So it would be really interesting to see how that goes. But the game itself, Chelmsford were a little short bench. As I say, obviously Eden Rolfe, George Beckett were off with the Rising Stars with the Warriors. And Sam Russell was missing. Both Beldicos brothers were missing. So it was a bit like, Brett Shepherd was in pipes for Streatham, being backed up by Dominic Ray, former Chieftain, so he was well received. And a little shiner as well. I'm not sure if he played the night before and got himself a little shiner, but that was nice to see. But the game started very nervy.
Yeah, you said that to me.
Yeah, it was very nervy. As Streatham took an early lead through Dan Rose, it was to be fair, it was like a playoff goal. It was like a backdoor clean-up. It was very, very straightforward, but it was. What struck me more than anything, probably across the first period and maybe the first bit of the second, when Streatham break out, it's terrifying. They break out with 3 players at all times, and they're attacking down the wings. One comes down the middle. They cross over like jets in Top Gun. It's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And Chieftains did really well at the back to kind of hold that off, and Ross Miller stood on his head most of the night as well. He'll probably want both goals back, in all honesty. We know how hard Ross is on himself as a goalie. But, yeah, he absolutely stood on his head. But the way that they were attacking was absolutely terrifying. And it wasn't until the second period where there'd been a few instances of this kind of come in. Dylan Dix had made it very clear that he was going to be leaving a mark on that evening. He made that very clear very early. Rammed Ollie Baldock into the boards in the first period, which I've seen it from a couple of different angles. It looks more unfortunate than anything, just in Ollie's position and the way that he went down. But Dylan's a big guy and does deliver big hits. He was. The ironic thing is everyone knows I'm a Chelmsford fan, but I do have this kind of neutral perspective where I don't see things through black and gold glasses, if you like.
Yeah.
So I can't kind of have a moan at Dylan Dix for landing those hits when he did it for us. We fucking
You'd be cheering, yeah.
Yeah, so I just appreciate it for what it is. But into the second period, there was like a clash on the blue line where a couple of players came across and Dix came in, and Elliot Dervis just decided that Dix was having it. And it was a terrific fight. I think I probably would edge it to Dylan, although he physically came out the worst. There was a bit of blood and whatnot that had to be cleaned up off the ice. But I've spoken for 4 years on this podcast about fighting. We talk with the fans, we talk about it with coaches, we talk about it with players. You cannot take it out of this game.
No.
Because what it was actually there for, fuck me, did that work on Sunday. Like that was a full barn. There was not a space to be had in that barn on Sunday night, and Chelmsford hadn't really started. They've always been guilty of starting slow at home a little bit, I think. Okay, but then when they don't start slow, they generally run 4 or 5 goals up within the first 5-6 minutes, which I've seen them do more than once.
Yeah,
I've seen them do that against Streatham as well. So, but when they start slow, they need that. And, I tell you. Like I said, I don't even think he won the fight, but the crowd absolutely loved it. The boys loved it. And within 4 minutes of that fight, we were 2-1 up.
And it changes the game completely.
It changed the game completely. And Chelmsford were the dominant ones then. And then when they broke out, it was orchestrated attack. Whereas in the first period, every time Chieftains broke out, it was one man in the puck and was looking for options. But after that, when they broke out, there was always options. The passes were slicker. They were quicker. They were tape to tape. It made such a massive effect on the game. And then into the third period, again, it was... You could tell by the shot counts, actually, in the periods who was kind of getting up and on top, because Streatham had the first period, Chelmsford had the second period, and it kind of... We were actually surprised that just how small the difference was in the second period, actually. We thought that Chelmsford had been a lot more dominant than they were. But into the third period, again, you could probably see the legs from both players start to feel that they'd both had fairly hard games the night before. An equaliser from Alan Lack coming off the right-hand side into the right circle, slucked it through the 5-hole. It was... I heard a couple of boos. I don't think anyone would ever truly boo him. He'll always be massively revered at Chelmsford. Alan Lack will. A cracking guy, a cracking player.
The bee at the barbecue.
Yeah, there was for the barbecue. If you're reading into his personal social media, I see a picture of him with his lovely family in Rome this week, saying, 60 days or something, and then it's all over. So does that tell you this is perhaps his last season playing? That's what it says to me. So we just have to enjoy him for as much as we can. But you always got the sense that this game was not going to overtime, and I don't know what it was about it.
I think sometimes you just have the feeling of it. You can sort of read a game before it's done. Yeah.
And I think there's times when, if you consider, because Alan Lack's goal was like 53-26 or something like that. It was relatively late.
52-50.
52-50. But that's still 7 minutes 10 seconds is a long time.
That's a long old time in ice hockey.
Really, really long time. But then when Grant Bartlett goes virtually completely on his own, sweeps down the left-hand side, cuts across, and just dangles it past Brett Shepherd to make it 3-2 on 57-30 something.
58-45.
Yeah, I'm not looking. I'm just trying to do from memory.
I've got it. 58-45.
58-45. That leaves you a minute
and 15 seconds.
Which is still a very long
time. A long time.
We're talking one goal. But then when the goalie was pulled, the play broke down, and Barnes Garner was very, very calm in how he went away and finished it. That was his second goal of the evening. He actually got the first goal for Chieftains, the equaliser, and then the second goal for Chieftains came from Sasha Maltsev. That was his 50th point of the season, which is terrific for Sasha. And we joked in our little area of the crowd that was Sasha's 50th for the season. And last week, Kieran Rayner got his 50th for the Chieftains. It took him 5 years. He's got there, but he's a D-man, so we'll
let him off.
We do let him off that little one, but but there was a real togetherness in the guys that night, and I shared it on social media many times because the fight was the catalyst for that game changing, and that's why it belongs in hockey.
Of course it does, and I just think as well, you can't take something like that out of the sport, especially in ice hockey. It's high speed, it's skillful, and fighting just gets the crowd going. When someone does a great skill, it's like, oh my god. But when a fight goes on, everyone is out of their seats, like shouting, let's go for it. It has to stay. Yeah, it does, and it did the job for the Chieftains on Sunday night, and it kind of seems now, do you know what I think it might be? It might be a little bit of
of the huge amount of respect that all these players have got for Lewis Clifford.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be, just for him to say, look, I've been here 3 years, late nights on the motorway when it says 50 mile an hour on the gantry speed, but there's no traffic and it takes him even longer to get home than it normally would.
Yeah.
They've then got to say, look, we've got to make sure that Cliff goes out on a high.
On a good, yeah.
And there might be a little bit of that to it.
Of course, and I think as well, if you respect your coach so highly and, how well he's done since he's come in, you want to give him that.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, obviously I've not played sport for quite some time because I'm a broken body, but that would always be how I would play.
Yeah.
I always played to, a coach who'd put faith in me. I would always play to try and repay that faith to the coach. So I think that's there could be a little bit of something what's going on with them, and they've put themselves, as I said, in a fantastic position.
Yeah.
Because we'll do the full table, a little bit when we've finished doing the games, but the way it's been set up now, it's pretty much in their hands. Because in case you didn't know, they're both Slough, Chelmsford. They're both up there. There's 1 point between them. They're level on games. They've got to play each other twice.
Brilliant.
So it's going to be a spectacular end to the season. But
going to the bottom of the table then. Well, was bottom of the table.
Yeah, you can call this a mid-table clash, really.
This is mid-table now, yeah. So Swindon hosted Romford, and you think, we've seen this fixture a few times now recently, and Romford have taken the points, and that was sort of the starting point of Romford's form. That was that, and they've had to win the night before, but they beat them 7-2.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Shocked. I was shocked, but no, they just sort of went out there and gave it their all, and at the end of the second period they were 6-0 up. So that sort of shows how the game was going, anyways.
But with the Raiders playing as well,
yeah,
there was no two-way players in there.
No.
So it was pure Buccaneers.
Yeah, and that's sort of, I like to see that because it then doesn't fall onto the national players. It is the NHL one players.
Yeah, well, I mean, we say that Owen Ryder was in goal.
Yeah, but beside that,
Owen Ryder, no skaters from the Raiders. But as we said earlier talking about the Saturday night game at home to Cardiff, Max Vinikov got his first senior goal. He just went a couple better on Sunday and got his first senior hat-trick.
Hat-trick, yeah. I mean, what a weekend. Yeah. You couldn't really put it any better for the lad.
Now, a hat-trick from Shay Walmore as well.
Yes.
Another one who's had a fairly good season. Again, the return of Jure Hushka. It might only be the odd goal or the odd assist that he's popping in.
It's the experience.
Presence.
Yeah, presence and experience. You've got that in your squad. He's amazing.
Yeah, replies from Jay Warren and Dan Bradley. Jay Warren's goal scoring has not been quite as high as it was last year.
Not as high as last
What would you pinpoint that to?
I don't know. It's sort of a weird one. Maybe, systems have probably changed. I don't know. And sometimes people do just have off seasons.
To be fair, the one who's been popping up with the goal for the Wildcats when they need it's been Jake Williams.
Williams, yeah, and sort of that's took him out of that sort of spotlight point. Whereas last season, other than Jay Warren, who sort of was it?
Yeah, it was relatively low scoring from everybody else apart from Jay Warren.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
So now you've got Jake Williams. It's a bit different.
But like I said, 7-2 win for Romford, a 6-point weekend for Romford, and as we said, we'll get to the table. What that does to the table is
insane,
quite astonishing.
Like, if you would have told me this was the table now at 3 weeks into the season or 4 weeks into the season, we probably both would have laughed at you. Yeah,
I wouldn't have believed this. We'll go top down. So Slough Jets played 23, they've won 18, an overtime win and overtime loss, 3 defeats, 57 points. Hot on their tail, the Chelmsford Chieftains played 23, won 17, 2 overtime wins, 1 overtime loss, 3 defeats, 56 points. Streatham Redhawks, they're 2 games back, so they've played 21, they've won 14, 1 overtime win, 2 overtime losses, 4 defeats, 46 points. Another point to notice in that is the goal scoring, because Streatham have scored 112, whereas Chelmsford have got 125. Slough got 154, which obviously we know those Cardiff games.
Cardiff games, yeah, 18 goals in one game is
have
ridiculous.
kind of done that. But that's to see Streatham as the third highest scorers in the league is strange. Normally they are a lot higher than that.
Higher than that, yeah.
And then in fourth, as we shared out the top four table. Invicta Dynamos, they've played 23, won 12, one overtime win, one overtime loss, 9 defeats, 39 points. So they're pretty much not going anywhere.
That fourth place is set, I think. Fourth place is set. And I did say that at the start of the season.
But, I mean, looking at the bottom four, I mean...
You can't place 5th, 6th and 7th yet. You can't.
It's so tight between them. And, in 5th, currently, Romford Buccaneers, they've played 22, won 8, no overtime wins, no overtime losses, and 14 defeats. They've conceded the same amount of goals that Streatham have scored, and they've got 24 points. One game ahead of them and 1 point back is the Swindon Wildcats. They've played 23, they've won 7, one overtime win, no overtime losses, and 15 defeats, 23 points. And then this was the one that just blew both our minds.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, oh my God.
Solent Devils, they've played 21, they've won only 5. 1 overtime win, 3 overtime defeats. That 1 overtime win was against Chelmsford at home. I was there for that game. That was an astonishing game. 3 overtime losses and 12 defeats, 20 points. But they have got 2 games in hand on Swindon, and then they're 3 points back. But they've got 1 game in hand on Romford, being 4 points back. So they're probably... Romford are going to need to drop an overtime somewhere.
Yeah, but again, it's not games in hand, it's points on the board.
Which we've seen for the teams at the top.
Yeah, proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. And then obviously down the bottom of the table are the Cardiff Fire. They've played 22. They have no regulation wins, 1 overtime win, no overtime losses, 21 defeats, just 2 points. They've conceded 24 goals more than the Slough Jets have scored.
Yeah. That was very quick maths from you.
That's all the darts I play.
Yeah, it's not nice to see, obviously. It's really not, but at the end of the day, that bottom has got to be a team.
Yeah.
It's just the severity of it.
Yeah, which to be fair, that was Milton Keynes last year.
It was at the end of the day, yeah.
I think they did end up with 3 points. I think they got 1 win, didn't they, against Oxford, I believe, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Cheers. Cheers for that.
Well, down into the NIHL 2, Milton Keynes' run was ended by Pete.
It was. Only just,
yeah. Their 7 games on a win streak was ended by Peterborough, but we've not got the details in front of us, so we're not going to go through it without knowing, but the NIHL 2 table is very, very tight. Very tight, yeah. It's playoff positions are up for grabs. They are massively up for grabs, and that's, again, it would be great to see someone different at the Steel City Showdown. Guildford and Peterborough put on a terrific show last year, and it's always good to catch up with Stuart Potts and with Nathan Pollard when they're up there. But it would be really nice to see another couple of teams in there. Obviously, Huskies have had a really good year. Mustangs have had a really good year. Wouldn't it be great to see the Thunder make the playoffs in their first year? I think as well that just shows them stepping down a league. It was a complete right move. And then getting to the playoffs would just be insane. And as exciting as this championship race is in the Britton Division, in the Morley, it's all over. Done. It's all over. It's done. It's done. Romeo done. Yeah, Blackburn have got it. A week before the cup final, which ironically they're not in because they were knocked out by a D-side. It's going to be D-side Dragons against Telford Tigers 2 this coming weekend. That'll be a good game. Morley Cup. Yes, we'll be discussing all of these Morley Cup games at our live episode. We will. Essex Podcast Festival will be running through everything that's happened on the Saturday nights and then predicting. In the space of about 40 minutes. Yeah, so we have to keep the mumbling to a minimum, not like we normally do here on a weekday evening. But by all means, please, if you are in Chelmsford, if you're going to the Cobras game that's on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then once you're done, come and join us at the Club Cafe in Molsham Street in Chelmsford, where we're going to be recording a live episode of Zero Pucks Given, which will be put out on all the normal podcast stuff in due course after it. I'm not entirely sure when we receive the recordings of such. But we will get it. Episode, but we will get it, and we will get it out, and we'll probably do some sort of Instagram live or something beforehand or afterwards as well. And now I've got
control of the TikTok, I'll be getting Ben to do some TikTok dances.
Oh dear, that's quite shocking. That's quite shocking. But yeah, to be fair, when I have a teenage daughter, so I've done all that before.
Yeah.
I'd probably consider myself a pro.
Oh, I'm gonna have to be careful then. I'm gonna be made to look like the shit dancer.
Well, yeah, I have a reputation at weddings for.
Oh, good one.
No, it's not a good one. No, I mean it's massively off topic for hockey, but I always go back to on my wedding day. Everyone's doing, like dirty dancing music.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that like everyone was in a circle around a dance floor, and we were in the middle doing the moves from the film and stuff. And my nan was like, "Oh, they're doing everything but it on that dance floor." Yeah, the generational changes.
Oh, bless.
I don't think
I can just imagine it.
Dancing either. No, I don't think it was quite my nan's bag.
No.
No. I can remember the weekend that Michael Jackson died. We actually went over to see her in the Isle of Wight. And it was all over the news all day, all over the telly. And she was like, "Oh, it's been all day here about Michael Jackson died. I tell you who else died today? Danny LaRue. And no one's mentioned that." Oh, you got to love grandparents.
Oh, you do.
You do. You have to love them because one day you won't have any.
Exactly.
I haven't got any, so.
Oh, that was quite
That's a dark dive at the end, isn't it?
That was a dark dive.
But yeah,
right.
I mean, another
podcast festival, guys.
Podcast festival, and after another fantastic weekend of hockey, as we said, it's Cup final weekend.
Yes.
It's Essex Podcast Festival, not just weekend, week. It's been going on all week across Chelmsford. I was actually really hoping to get to, but I'm so busy that I couldn't get there. There was a drum podcast about drummers, and they've got Ent Shikari drummer Rob Rolfe with them. So I was really hoping to try and get to that because I know Rob from back in the day. So that would have been really, really cool. But yeah, we are going to be at the Club Cafe, Molsham Street, Chelmsford, at 3:30 p.m.
Chelmsford fans, I'm making the travel all the way from Oxford, so please, if you just want to, just because it probably will be Chelmsford fans if anyone does turn up, just turn up, say hello. It would be nice to meet some of you guys. Yeah,
Warriors fans, Chieftains fans, come
all
have
of you.
A coffee. And as I said, if you've been to the Cobras game before at the Riverside, just come along, have a coffee, or they may serve adult beverages in there. I'm not entirely sure. If they do, I will certainly be having one. But it'd just be, to be fair, because it's such a strange dynamic to record live. It's not something that either of us have actually really done before. Obviously, I've done Hockey Night Live.
We did that live one.
We did a live Instagram one, didn't we?
Instagram, but no, not in person.
Not in person. To do one live in person, because, I don't know if I'm prepared for hecklers. Well,
not me, guys. Just heckle Ben. Because I don't know whether I'll be able to handle it.
No, but I think it's such a great idea, the Essex Podcast Festival. We just missed out on it the last time that it came around because they'd contacted us and I missed it. And by the time I got back to them, everything was already booked in and everything was already done. So we got in there really early this year. We've been put on a fantastic day on a Sunday in a lovely little venue where we're going to be, setting up some jerseys and a little bit of hockey memorabilia. I've been sent something very special actually, which I will keep secret until Sunday.
Oh, okay. I'm in the news for this as well.
I might tell you after we've pressed stop. But so I think it's just going to be a fantastic chance for fans to come out. Like I said, the Cobras are playing at like 20 past 12. Sorry, so that will probably be done by 3:30. So, and then I don't think there's any hockey happening in Chelmsford for the rest of the day. So come and chat hockey.
Yeah.
Or listen to us chat hockey, and then when we're done, we can sit there and chat hockey.
Yeah, we can sit there and talk.
But yeah, it should be absolutely terrific. And like I say, because it's Cup final weekend, we'll have loads of content to go through because everyone's actually doing their two-legged Cup final over the same weekend, which is brilliant.
Which is great.
And one of the things I did notice I was really, really happy about, because Guildford Phoenix have made it to that Cup final, they are actually doing their home and away leg full out on this weekend. Because over the years, Guildford have struggled, haven't they, with ice time.
Yeah.
They've ended up with like one-legged semi-finals or one-legged finals, and it's not proper.
It's not good. No, it's not real.
No. So everyone's going for it this weekend, and we're going to be chatting all about it on Sunday.
The limited time as possible.
Yes, for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a bit of
not long enough for us, Tim.
Not long enough for us. We do have a little bit of a struggle. And then later on this week, as we said right at the start, we've got the Nick Rothwell episode coming out talking about the growth of Retribe and all the good work that Nick's doing there. Nick has done some speaking along with the IIHF. He's done some speaking at the Coaches Symposium in Sweden as well. Just spreading the word about Retribe and the growth that it has had in the sort of, it's a short amount of time really, if you consider
like as a business, it's not long at all. No,
so he came on the podcast first time 3 years ago, and it's moved on drastically since then.
Yeah.
But he's keeping it very calm, and it's moving very steadily, which is very, very nice to see. And as we said earlier, announcing ambassadors, Liam Kirk, Logan Nielsen to add to the GOAT, Tony Hand, MBE, who's part of it as well. And then later this week, we'll be announcing a GB female player, as well as 4 more players to be announced as ambassadors in the very near future. So very exciting stuff from Nick Rothwell. Well,
yeah, that's us sorted.
It is. It's late. We've chatted.
I am actually on 1% as well.
Well, before Caitlin's tablet
dies. Great it through. I was on 71%, guys.
Wow.
See you next week.
See you next week.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
With Car Gurus Discover, you can skip the filters and describe what you're looking for in your own words. Simply type what you want, and Car Gurus Discover instantly surfaces real listings that match your exact needs. It's no wonder Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site according to SimilarWeb's estimated traffic data. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at CarGurus.com. Go to CarGurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's CarGurus.com. CarGurus.com.